In Christian belief and superstition across the peoples of Eastern Europe, if a Christian defies God by taking their own life, they will be forced to wander the world as a vampire for all time. It seems that the local people of Old Blandford, Dorset, also believed this superstition from a far-off land. Nowadays, Blandford is seen as a picturesque market town and a popular tourist destination, but this place has a dark secret. Blandford was once home to a haunting case of vampirism. According to legend, a man called William Doggett stole a large sum of money from his master whilst he was travelling abroad. When his master returned, Doggett was so terrified his master would find out about his treachery, he placed a gun to his head and took his own life. According to this tale, this caused Doggett to rise from his grave. For nearly a century after his death, the blood-soaked visage of Doggett would roam the streets, preying on young women and crawling into their windows in the middle of the night to feast on their blood. He would travel through the town in a black carriage pulled by jet black demonic steeds. One day the people decided to fight back. The townsfolk finally dug up Doggett's body to end the curse, but they found it was completely free of decay. Werewolves are creatures that are part human, part wolf, or just fully wolf. First described in medieval times, belief in this creature is widespread throughout the world, moving into popular culture in more modern times. It is believed that a person becomes a werewolf after being scratched or bitten by a werewolf, transforming into this terrifying beast on a full moon. Although most people have heard of werewolves, I'm quite sure that the residents and visitors of Bournemouth and Dorset don't think that this would be an issue in their own lives. But in 2007, footage arose of the said creature. On the 14th of November 2007, the surveillance camera on the A338 Wessex Way in Bournemouth appeared to show the monster jumping the centre barrier before barely missing an oncoming car, before disappearing into the shadows. Some say it is just a deer, but on closer inspection from experts they say it cannot be. The hind legs appear more human-like with knees. It is also too large to be a human or a deer. Whatever the case, it may be worth keeping an eye out for the beast on your next visit to Bournemouth, but make sure it's not your last. Folklore from the Dorchester area of Dorset, dating back centuries, tells of the Wood Wose, or Wild Man of Yellowham Woods. This creature is said to be the British answer to Bigfoot or Yeti. Going back to pre-Christian times, this mythical figure tallies with tales from all over Europe and North America of a large, hairy wild man who lives in the woods. The Wood Wose is said to carry off maidens from nearby villages and impregnating them. In 2014, two members of the British Bigfoot Research Organisation investigated sightings of the creature in Yellowham Woods. Over the course of 2 nights, their clapping technique was responded to by tree knocks. They also heard the sound of a creature moving slowly, carefully, closer and closer towards them. They also discovered Bigfoot tree structures, broken trees and large footprints in the mud. Things began to turn sinister. They received whooping calls, and as they made for their car, trees were pushed down and logs thrown at them, just missing their heads. So if you go down to the woods today, be sure of a Bigfoot surprise.